Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode those scary corporate filings so you don't have to. Today we're diving into Orion Energy Systems, Inc., and a filing that looks like a big financial house cleaning, with some complicated agreements and a touch of debt management. Make sure you're subscribed for more straight dope on company filings and join our Discord community linked below to chat about it. So what is the big news from Orion Energy Systems, incorporated in this 8K filing? Well, it is mainly about sorting out some old debts and securing new ones, all happening around the end of September 2025. Think of it as a company saying, let us get our financial house in order by making some new deals and confirming some old ones. This is a current report, meaning Orion Energy Systems Incorporated believes something important has happened that shareholders need to know about, and they are required to tell the Securities and Exchange Commission right away. The core of this report revolves around a series of agreements finalized on the 30th of September 2025. It seems like the company had some outstanding payments related to a past acquisition of a company called Voltrek Incorporated, and they are making big moves to settle those. This section tells us that the company entered into some significant contracts. What kind of contracts? Well, they are detailed in the next section, but it signals that Orion Energy Systems Incorporated is undertaking actions that could really impact its financial health. This is where the rubber meets the road financially. Orion Energy Systems Incorporated is taking on new financial commitments and potentially managing off balance sheet arrangements. This section is critical because it reveals directly how the company is borrowing money or guaranteeing payments. So, back in June, they agreed to a plan, a term sheet, to deal with money they still owed from buying Voltrek. Incorporated, this was an earn-out obligation, meaning it was tied to how well Voltrek Incorporated performed after the sale. They've already made some payments totaling $875,000 in August and September of this year, 2025, to settle their 2024 obligations. That is a good chunk of change. They also used their own stock worth $1.0 million to pay off part of what they owed for fiscal years 2025 and the combined period of 2023 through 2025. Using stock is an interesting way to conserve cash, but it does dilute the ownership for existing shareholders. We're re-talking over 1.6 million shares here. Now, the big deal on the 30th of September 2025 is this senior subordinated loan agreement. Essentially, Final Frontier LLC agreed to let Orion Energy Systems Incorporated defer the rest of the money owed for the Voltrek Incorporated earnout. This is a lifeline for Orion Energy Systems Incorporated. In the short term, allowing them to push payments down the road, but this deferral comes as a loan, meaning it will eventually have to be paid back with interest. So they need to start paying back the principal. It begins at $25,000 a month in early 2026, then jumps to $50,000 a month later that year, and this continues until mid-2027. That is a steady outflow of cash for the next year and a half or so. On top of the principal, there is interest right now. It is set at 7% per year, and interest payments start from July 2025. This interest rate can change once they figure out the exact final amount owed through arbitration, so their actual interest payments might go up or down. To back up this loan, Orion Energy Systems Incorporated and its subsidiaries have given Final Frontier LLC a security interest in pretty much all of their assets. That means if Orion Energy Systems Incorporated can't pay Final Frontier, LLC has a claim on those assets. However, this claim is second to Bank of America's claim, which is important. This subordination agreement is key. It officially puts Final Frontier, LLC's loan and security interest behind Bank of America's existing debts. This is a common practice when layering different types of debt, ensuring the primary lender, Bank of America, is protected first. Bank of America, NA, also had to approve all of this. They entered into amendment number 4 to their existing loan agreement. This amendment basically says Bank of America, NA, is okay with this new subordinated debt, but they've put a cap on how much it can be. Initially, it is capped at $3.0 million, unless Bank of America NA agrees to a higher amount after the arbitration decision. And Bank of America NA is allowing Orion Energy Systems Incorporated to make these payments to Final Frontier LLC as long as everything stays within the terms of these new agreements. It shows they are somewhat comfortable with Orion Energy Systems Incorporated. It's cash flow to handle these new obligations. Beyond the financial agreements, there is also a support agreement. This is essentially a promise from Final Frontier LLC and Kathleen Connors to to support the current management and board of Orion Energy Systems Incorporated. They've agreed not to cause trouble. They won't start any fights, try to take over the company, or mess with the board or management. This is to give a period of stability for the company to manage its new financial situation. This agreement lasts until the debt to Final Frontier LLC is fully paid off, matures, or is accelerated, meaning it becomes due immediately because of some default. And finally, Kathleen Connors gets a seat at the table. Sort of, she has been granted a board observer agreement. This means she can attend certain board meetings, but she doesn't get a vote. She is there to observe and perhaps offer insights, but she won't be making any official decisions. She also won't be getting paid or reimbursed for her time. This observer role also ends once the subordinated note is fully paid back. So, looking at this filing, Orion Energy Systems Incorporated is clearly in a restructuring phase. They've taken on new debt to manage old obligations, and they secured the lender S cooperation through security agreements and subordination. The support agreement and board observer role suggest an effort to build trust and ensure a smooth path forward with the former owners of Voltrek. Incorporated, the fact that Bank of America is okay with this under strict conditions shows they have some confidence, but it also highlights the tight leash the company is on. The key moving forward will be managing that $50,000 monthly principal payment in 2026 and beyond, while also navigating the as yet undetermined final earnout amount from arbitration. If arbitration results in a higher amount, and if business does pick up significantly, they could find themselves in a tight spot with their senior lenders. It is a bold move to clear the decks, but the risk is that they might be taking on more than they can handle if their business performance falters. The company direction appears to be focused on stability and settling past issues, but the long-term financial health will hinge on aggressive revenue growth and efficient operations to meet these new debt service requirements. Alright, that is our breakdown of Orion Energy Systems Incorporated, S latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company, S future? Drop your thoughts in the comments if this analysis was valuable. Hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching, see you next time.